Hello, boys and girls. I'm so excited you decided to join me for our next Bible adventure. Today, we will hear about another one of God's promises. But before we get to that, let's hop over to praise and worship. Welcome back! On our adventure today, we are going on a journey way back to the first book of the Bible. Do you know the name of the first book of the Bible? Did you say Genesis? If you did, you are right. Genesis is the first book of the Old Testament and the very first book of the Bible. This is one of my most favorite books in all of the Bible. So boys and girls, we have been learning about God's promises and how He always keeps His promises. Can you put your thumbs up like this, like me? All right, now say with me, God always keeps His promises. Let's say it together. Ready? God always keeps His promises. Very good. So what is today's promise? Let's put on our listening ears and get ready for our next Bible adventure. Today's promise is found in the book of Romans 8:28. And what it says is that God works all things for our good and God's glory. So that means that all the events that happen in your life, you know, the good things, the bad things, the exciting things, the kind of not exciting things, God promises that they are all for your good and for God's plan. That is a great promise, friends, because sometimes weird things kind of happen and bad things kind of happen and they don't feel good. But God promises that He is going to use all of them for a bigger purpose. So Joseph is a man in Genesis that we're going to learn about today. So let me tell you a little bit about Joseph. So Joseph's dad's name was Jacob. You know, you've probably heard of Jacob and his brother Esau. Remember them? Well, Jacob had 12 sons, but he loved his son Joseph the most. He gave Joseph a special coat to wear, like with all a bunch of colors. But most people at that time didn't have colors on their clothes, so it was really, really special. So Joseph's brothers were jealous of him, like super jealous. They hated him. Joseph also had special dreams while he was sleeping. He had a dream that after they gathered wheat, his brother's wheat bundles would bow down to his wheat bundles. It's kind of weird, huh? But Joseph's brothers hated him even more because of these dreams. One day, Joseph's brothers were in the fields watching their sheep, and they saw him coming to see him, and they planned to kill him and put an end to all his dreams. They took off his special coat and threw him in a well. Well, the traders came by on their way to Egypt. They were traveling, and the brothers sold their brother to them. Can you believe that? They sold their brother. Well, they told their dad, Jacob, that Joseph had died, and Jacob was very sad. But Joseph wasn't dead. He was on his way to Egypt. and God was with him. All right, so while he was in Egypt, what happened to him? Well, the travelers sold Joseph to Potiphar, and one of the Pharaoh's captains. Well, God blessed Joseph and made him very, very, very successful. Potiphar put Joseph in charge of the whole household, and Joseph served him very well. Potiphar's wife wanted Joseph to sin against God. That's not good, right? Well, Joseph refused to, and so she lied about him, and then he got thrown in prison. Now Joseph is in prison. Well, while he was in prison, he met two of Pharaoh's servants, and he had dreams about them, and God showed Joseph what they meant. Joseph's explanation came true. So while Joseph was in jail for 2 years, that's a long time. That's not a very good thing, right? But Pharaoh had some dreams now, and he didn't know what they meant. One of those guys that was in the prison with Joseph remembered who Joseph was and told Pharaoh about him. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph and told him all about his dreams. And God told Joseph what those dreams meant. Pharaoh was so impressed by Joseph's wisdom that he put him in charge of storing up food for all the kingdom. So apart from Pharaoh, Pharaoh's really powerful, no one else in Egypt was more powerful than Joseph. Wow! Remember Joseph's brothers hated him and they threw him in a pit? A well? But God was with Joseph and was working all things for his good and God's big plan. So now he was in the palace and he had power. Well, wouldn't you know that Joseph's brothers were very, very hungry because there was no food for them in their homeland. And so they went out on a journey. A long way they had to walk, and they walked all the way to Egypt to buy food. And when they got there, they bowed before Joseph, but they didn't know it was him. They didn't recognize him. And when Joseph saw that his brothers had changed, then Joseph told him who he was. Oh my goodness, the brothers were terrified. Oh no, they thought, what will our brother do to us? Surely he will take revenge on us for all the wrongs we did to him when we sold him into slavery. So how do you think Joseph responded? Well, I'm going to read what he said in Genesis chapter 50, verse 19 through 21. Okay? It's amazing what Joseph said to them. He said, "Do not fear. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive, and they are today. So do not fear. I will provide for you and your little ones." Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Wow. Joseph forgave his brothers. I love this story of Joseph because we see that Joseph didn't have an easy life. But God used all the things in his life for good and to save his people from going hungry. You know, I'm really encouraged that even if something hard is happening for me or for my family, I can trust that God is always good. And he always, always keeps his promises. And he always has a plan. Lord, I pray that these seeds of truth are planted in the hearts of these kids and that they grow to love you and follow you just like Joseph did. Amen. Well, let's see what you've learned today and if you can remember our story. I know it was kind of long. So, do you remember what I said our promise was today? God works all things out for our good. All right, now the second question is, what did Joseph's brothers do to him? They sold him to travelers. Oh my goodness, I'd be so sad if my brother did that to me. The third question, how did Joseph respond to his brothers at the end of the story? He forgave them. He forgave them. He didn't have revenge on them. All right, so what you're going to do is you have some fun activity pages that your parents can print out, and you can do these to remember our story and retell it to someone in your house. That will be fun for you. Well, I'm so glad you joined me today. Share this good news with someone in your family that everything will work out, even if it's something hard, like what happened to Joseph. All right, my friends, I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hi, my friends. Are you ready to do your memory verse with me? Let's go ahead and do it. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord isn't being slow about his promise. He is being patient for you. 2 Peter 3:9. You guys are doing such a good job memorizing that verse. Once it's memorized, do you know what you're supposed to do? Remember to submit a video of you doing the verse with all the motions to this email, okay? I can't wait to see you. And don't forget, when you do it, you'll win a prize, so don't forget, all right? Bye-bye.